So thanks, Was. So thank you for coming on to the roundtable. This is the one-to-one session, and we're just going to go into a bit more of a deep dive into your story and how myself and Lewis can support you moving forward. So can you just elaborate a little bit more on your story?
Yeah, so I think like we discussed before, so my background, I have quite a varied background in education. Professionally, I work as a tutor now, but I've worked in school and been working for about 8 years in education at the moment. Teaching across all core subjects, some up to A-level, and then also English as a second language is one of my other expertises. I think then research background is in sport and exercise science and scientist in general. And I was an athlete in martial arts before, and I've now transitioned sort of into dance as my current sort of sport that I'm pursuing as well. And I think at the minute, my sort of route forwards is along either the dance or tuition line. I have a business sort of plan in mind, tuition-wise, in a niche that I could go into because of my background in languages and languages I'm able to speak. But then also pursuing dance as a professional career is also really exciting to me. This is something I want to sort of take on. So.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. So because it's mainly that freelance kind of both angles, really, the tuition and the dance, it gives you a lot more freedom to do kind of both at the same time, which is great. I had a little bit of experience in kind of education and coaching, and I really actually encourage using certain freelancing platforms. Have you ever heard of Upwork?
No.
So that's the biggest corporate freelancing platform, I believe, in the world. I've done a lot of work on there myself and kind of, work my way up. It can be a bit tricky to actually get your portfolio open and actually gain jobs. But I would definitely recommend looking at Upwork for kind of educational purposes, being a freelancer. Also LinkedIn as well. I would really think kind of networking with like-minded people who might need those services. Certain subscriptions will give you extra access as well. Of course, they do charge money, but it could be worth it in the long run. So I think, looking at those networking platforms is really important. Definitely.
Yeah, to go into more detail from what you mentioned is just more your guidance, what you want to do with your career, more so than I feel like you know what you want to do. It's just making that plan and getting the structure behind it. I'd probably say to go into more detail is to not treat it in a way where it's like a business where you've got, you're talking about commercials and I've got to make a certain amount of money a month and stuff, because it's more of a lifestyle component to the things that you enjoy doing. Such as, your sports, so you can keep that up as well as then teaching where you get gratification from, and then being able to, to continue to do your dance as well. So, but to build something around the three core areas which give you gratification, but then also generates income for you, and you can still travel, which is the other component as well, which you love to do. So I would suggest Upwork is a great one, as mentioned, to get work. I know you've got a platform which you use already. You could maybe look to start your own platform.
So I think in terms of tuition, I have I actually also drafted sort of a business plan. But I think if I was to go into that niche, my thing is I think there's a gap in the tuition market internationally in terms of teaching. English is always wanted anywhere in the world you go. But there's very few people who are able to teach English specifically for Japanese and Korean people who have a particular issue with obtaining fluency in communication of English for business. And it's something where I can target their system internationally and perhaps there and also here. And so my idea was sort of in starting myself as a business, just independently as an individual, in the UK, because they have a lot of students from there. And so there's a high demand for that English here. And then
especially in the centre of Manchester as well.
Manchester and London.
Especially. If you were to set something up that's able to fund your lifestyle, where you can still continue to do dancing and your sports aspirations, where you can do that on that level as well, then you're giving back and doing teaching through a platform which is sort of a mini business in itself. I would definitely suggest to also consider the amount of time and effort it takes to run a business. It might detract from doing that. When I first started, I didn't think, I'm going to be up at 3 a.m. in my office, but I was, and then I wasn't able to then go to the gym. I wasn't then able to do the things which were my passions, because I gave it all up for my business. So to be cautious that whatever you do, make sure that you have set aside your sort of goals in terms of your own personal goals as well and what you like to do, you know, day to day, and make sure that if you do want to set something up like that, that you can outsource the tech part of it, or to use other platforms like Upwork and other freelancer platforms and LinkedIn, that you don't have to build your own, so you have time to do the other things, which it sounds to me like those are the very, very key to, you know, making yourself happy. So because of that, and plan and structure and everything behind, and I'm sure that you'll be successful and you'll fall into the right path, as long as you keep that vision of what you like doing and keeping down that path, and surround yourself by, you know, business-minded people and people that like doing the same things that you like doing. Then I think that's the best advice that I could give on that.
Can I just ask, what do you think in terms of? I also thought about having my own website, where, so that the service that I offer is only through myself, and so I'd have like my own resource bank, for example, my own courses. About that, but then also it's occurred to me there might also be a market in the corporate industry, and workers from those two countries wanting courses in English, like fast track courses in English for business purposes outside of the countries. And what you think about that?
There are, if you have a course that you can make, there are, I'm forgetting the exact name of it, but there is a site where you can build your course and sell that course, and you can have a link to it to be sold from your site. I would recommend maybe using something like a Squarespace. You can have a members access page. You can get set up on that really cheap, like 15, 16 quid a month sort of thing. Putting your own personal brand out there in a domain on a LinkedIn profile and social media, I think would be a fantastic thing to do.
Yeah, and with the AI capabilities now, it's very, very easy. You don't need a whole website designer if you're going through it yourself. There's a lot of tools and support there, and we can send kind of the most recommended ones that's come to us, and we can get that over to you. No problem at all.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching.